What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer back on Dueling Book. This is a little bit of an older one, but I did like this replay. I'm playing against something a little bit different, something I've really never even shown on the YouTube channel, and that is Exosister. I don't know if they've just gotten their new support or if they're getting it next month, but I guess we'll take an early look. Not that they're using the new support, but that will take an early look at what Exosisters can do, right? During the draw phase, got to activate this as early as possible. You want to play Generator Boss Fight. So they drew a card. I was like, I wanted to make sure because I was looking at my deck, and go ahead and summon out a Garda. Bring out those tokens, and of course, like I would have summoned out hard, but it is in my hand, unfortunately. And there's like so many opportunities where I get close to getting this back into my deck, and I don't. It's very annoying. But main phase 1 there, say okay, that's Dinotherium. There's obviously no targets for me to special summon back with this. And he goes ahead and normal summons Stella. Pretty sure they're a rank 4 engine. That's pretty much the whole point, right? So I'll go ahead and banish those and then banish the Exosister, because this is much better than that. He says to take. Interesting, like really bold. Like I just... Honestly, bad decision. You either take a card from my hand or you draw. Like, I mean, I did have an Ash there for it, so I just feel like hindsight is not the greatest thing ever. I definitely would not be taking, because like this could be literally anything, because he's going to attempt to turn these into Lina, and I'm just like, all right, let me just pop this. And I get to send, man, whenever you get to send Titanclad off of your Dogmatika punishment, you don't have to send Elder. You're in such a good position. Like, I am so far ahead of him right now in terms of like whatever he's trying to do. Now, if I'm playing Puntherion, maybe not enough, but for everything else, this is amazing, because during end phase, like this is during your opponent's turn, mind you. Like, I'm not supposed to be playing during my opponent's turn, but yeah, here I am doing that. So I can go ahead and special summon out Ecclesia. Ecclesia can switch me Maximus, because I want to send Tri-Brigade Fairjeet to the graveyard so that I can get this out and I can use this Omni-Negate. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm in the clear. Like, what could he possibly have? This is an activated effect, by the way. Not just the send to the graveyard, special summoning also an effect. Definitely comes up. He plays Torrential Tribute. Like, is that even good against your, like, for you? Wild. So I'm not in a good spot right now, but at least I have one more target. I have thought about for a long time, ditching this. It looks incredible right here. Like, I just lose, like, straight up if I didn't have this in my deck for this game. Because the thing is, like, you can always side this out. I've been going back and forth on it pretty recently, but against this deck, it's literally just like an FTK for the most part. He can go ahead and special summon there. I'm pretty sure I could negate this, but I'm just going to wait for the XYZ. So this says if you control another Exosister, you draw one card, and then you can gain 800 life points. Obviously very good. So he's going to attempt to make the Michaelis, and I'm just going to go ahead and negate the summon. A little bit of a discussion here. Like, you can't chain this, so this negates like to the level of like Solemn Judgment. Like the monster does not hit the board. So yeah, that's what I'm explaining. Boss of Ice said would special summon, so it's like it hasn't even been special summoned yet. Because in Yu-Gi-Oh, there's that weird like portal between it being actually on the field and attempting to special summon. Just part of the complexities of Yu-Gi-Oh, of course. A couple of Nibiru's doesn't really... I mean, it can do something against this deck, but it's just only like certain hands. Like, most of the time, you're definitely going under. So those cards are just sitting there, which I think is a huge advantage for this archetype. So I don't have any more targets, right? Adgarda was used. This was special summon. This is just stuck in my hand, unfortunately. But he's going to go ahead and special summon there. He's going to add the trap. So pay 800 life points, choose one Exosister monster from your deck, then take one of your other Exosister monsters from your deck that is mentioned on that monster and special summon both, but shuffle them into the deck. Pretty cool, because they partner up with one another. Top deck in Ash Blossom. It's pretty nice. And we'll go ahead and go to the main phase 1. Go to battle phase. Nothing much I can do. I'm just not top decking anything of real use, unfortunately. But like, this takes a really long time to get anything off of. But he's going to go ahead and activate it, which is pretty cool. He's going to get 2 of them. It works out pretty well for him here. Could Ash, but you know, I have the answer for this. Now maybe I'm taking a little bit of a risk, which is fair enough, right? But yeah, all the generators can contribute themselves for all of their costs. So it's either like something like these are war monsters or generators, and it can be yeah. So it's pretty cool. Because I'm pretty sure the other ones too. I think it's and or, right? You contribute and yeah. So honestly, it seems like a small detail, but very important. This is only 1 tribute, so it doesn't really matter, but. Okay, so I top deck an effect Veiler. Like, I'm looking for anything, but kind of been through a lot. I mean, Max or Ecclesia can search me Fleur, which certainly isn't the worst thing in the world. So I'm just hoping to find maybe either one of those. If I could find a Nadir Servant even, or Alistair the Invoker, of course, would be preferred. But he does go for Trap Trick there at the end phase. Pretty nice. He does have 1 more copy left. And he goes ahead and activates. Kind of a weird draw for him, right? 2 of these. But he's going to go to main phase 1. Special summon. It's crazy because it doesn't have to control other... Like, normally cards stipulate other than itself. But Ellis does not have that stipulation, which is pretty cool. So Called by the Grave definitely could be a factor here. And honestly, I'm just bamboozled for sure by what he does here. So he's going to go ahead and use the effect. So it's first, there's 2 effects on this card, and they're both good. So it can't be destroyed by a monster, special summon from the graveyard, fine. If you would control this card that was XYZ summoned this turn by using an Exosister monster you control's material. Quick effect, you can target 1 card your opponent controls or in their graveyard banish it. Oh, it's only during this turn. Interesting. So I guess that's not as good as I thought. This makes a lot more sense. But I'm going to go ahead and effect Veiler, but he also has that quick effect, I think, to search. Oh, that's the banish effect. So he can't search. I don't want him to search, but that's fine. So, okay, Called by the Grave comes in. Because he didn't... Oh, I could have chained Called by the Grave, I guess. Maybe I actually really should have done that, but... boss fight, I'm just going to pretty much bluff set, although honestly the more I think about it, probably should have just held it in my hand in case of an Alistair play, but 2500 is going to go ahead and hit me there. And then he goes into a Zeus. Oh, I actually didn't mind him banishing anything, because it has to banish a face-up card, right? Now, I got to think back in this. Target 1 card your opponent controls or... Oh, okay. So we could have banished this face down. I guess the threat of Generator is just... A boss stage is so good, but... Might as well, right? This is probably the best card in his deck. I can't think of any other card that would be better to banish. Nah. For sure not. Well, I'm sure there's other choices. I mean, it could have... Like, it's really a crapshoot if I went after the main monster, so I might as well go after the extra deck. Maybe I could have gone into this one, like maybe he doesn't play 3 copies of it. That's actually probably pretty unlikely, but it's whatever. I don't know what he has in the back row. I only know that he played Torrential Tribute, so I can go ahead and normal summon the Ecclesia there. Yeah, so pretty much just searching for Fleur at this point. He does imperm that. I feel pretty good about that, because I'm like, this really wasn't doing anything like that good. So that's fine. Okay, so he's going to go to the battle phase there. This was special summon from the extra deck, so shout out to Ecclesia. A pretty wild game 1 is starting to brew here. I finally find an imperm, although it's a 1-up for me, so it kind of makes sense. And we'll go ahead and just go to the main phase 1. He sets this. Pay 100 life points, add 1 Exosister card from your deck. I don't know. He doesn't really play that. Oh, he wanted that so that this would be online, but even, I don't know, if I chain, I don't know, like Cosmic Cyclone, he can still use packs, so it's like, are you benefiting from me knowing, like, what this card is in your hand? Probably not, right? Like, he kind of just did that to do that, I feel like, but Magical Meltdown, So now I'm finally getting somewhere. This invocation is going to be pretty decent. You know what's funny, by the way, about Alistair? It's not even a soft once per turn. I mean, which kind of makes sense, but like, if it's normal, anytime it's normal summon, you get to add invocation. That's just kind of hilarious. And invocation isn't once per turn either. Only effect to add back to hand is. So of course, you know, I only play one invocation. It honestly makes no sense to me that people play multiple copies. It's one of the most bizarre things ever. Don't even know why it's debated. But he's going to go ahead and special summon there, and this was activated. If this card is activated, it lets him, I don't know, this is just weird. I just don't understand this play. I understand this, like, this makes sense, right? Because if I activate invocation, like, I'm pretty much Gucci. I'm going to go ahead and probably just, I was thinking about trying to keep Almirage on field because, you know, having destruction protection is pretty cool. I had activated an Ash a long time ago. So I can go ahead and go for a Purgatrio. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess there's nothing else he could have done, but I did have the Imperm there for the answer. The only reason I play one Imperm is because in real life I lost my Imperm, so I don't feel like paying for more. So I just play Effect Veiler instead, which is probably a bad idea. Although, I mean, Effect Veiler always has its advantages, of course. And we're just going to go ahead and side there. All right, so pretty wild stuff going first here. We'll see what ends up happening. So, did I go first that turn? I think I did. I don't really remember that first game, but he's going to go ahead and special summon here, starting off pretty well. Honestly, like, all my side deck options, like, didn't do much. Like, I kept Ashen. I think I kept Effect Veiler in, but, like, Nibiru doesn't really do anything at all for this deck. This deck is pretty interesting because these are like Gallic Granite is generic, but they're all, I think one of them is a rock. I don't remember. You get to add a rock monster, but at the very least, he gets to add the Heavenly. So, I mean, that's, if this is like the best the deck can do, though, it's like, how impressive is it? I don't know what the new support is necessarily, but pretty, like, I'm feeling pretty, like, not good because I sided this in and now it's protected. So, I mean, all in all, I guess it worked out pretty well for him, but I'm going to go ahead and activate Ecclesia, and then I'm going to go ahead and activate the effect. He activates Solemn Strike here, and like, oh man, I don't know. It's like, is this card that good? Because like now, like you don't have protection. Don't you just keep this in your hand because Torrential Tribute's so good? But I'm going to go ahead and discard there and send this through. Yeah, Summon Limit, unironically, like, the best card in the format, like, in my opinion. It beats Fluonaries. It beats Punk Therion. I mean, of course, if your opponent draws the out. That's always the joke in Yu-Gi-Oh!, right? Just draw the out. But if they don't well, I mean, Dracoback definitely would also do that. So, you know, the Adventure Engine is just good in general, but the idea is that you have, like, at least a negate for their one out, because how many outs are your opponent going to have? But this opening is just so, I mean, this is good. And this was going second, but, I mean, I'm playing Exosister, so there's only so much you can say, but, like, this is just showing off my deck more than anything. That's fine. He can go ahead and search another Lord of Heavenly Dragon Prison, and, you know, the effect, once he's searched, he's got to send a monster. Pretty nice. He just gets a body off board. He's just going to go ahead and attempt to draw. I will negate there. Because I already have, like, I still have Summon Limit and Punishment, so, like, I don't want him to draw into an out to any of the stuff that I have on board. Because if he had, like, Twin Twisters, he would have activated it by now, of course. He's going to go ahead and normal summon there, and turn those into Lion, playing directly into Summon Limit, which, you know, pretty much GG, because, like, what is he going to do after this turn? Probably nothing. I'm just going to hold on to Punishment because I can just get over it. It's pretty easy. That token dies. And I'll activate Ecclesia. I mean, there's no real reason to normal summon or activate the effect. It makes no difference, all things considered. But yeah, so Ecclesia can go ahead and special summon. Bring out Fleur, probably, maybe. Probably Fleur. Because that would be 3,000 plus 3,000. That's 6,000. Plus this goes to what, 2,500. So it would have been pretty close. It's just a weird number. 1,200. Let's say roughly 1,200 plus 3,000. That's 40. I think it may have been just on the nose, or maybe even 50 short. But I mean, I'm overcomplicating this because I have boss stage already, right? So like a Garda comes out, and it all works under summon limit. These two cards in tandem are pretty much GGs, like once you get them established. And then also this on top, just because, is the bee's knees. So that was a look at another dueling book match. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.